So we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type. Yes, guess what's yours? Okay, just for the length of this short demonstration, please say something that isn't, "I'm sorry." Guess, what is it? No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we? Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here. Oh, you know, Apocalypse, Superstellar, the advanced interesting cop, liquid shadow cop. But you're too sorry to say those things. So, what? Jealous of the sorry cop? They'll be super fine. It'll be totally okay. You can dual Copo type from sorry to anything. Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info. Or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1 million.
And a gatherer, feel like a traveler from another planet. Hey there. It's the jam, my man. It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight, no explanation given. Workers on strike, scat. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days upon days. Yeah, exactly. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout. Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Behind the laugh, however, a touch of...
So tell me, what do you need? Nope, don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around, waiting for the jam to disperse. Or waiting for the sweet release of death.
Yup, nothing wrong with that statement. Your senses have nothing to add. You left the ask around elsewhere.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3 T's. Rebishaw's weird. Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work. The bosses, man. Yeah, it sure ain't good for me. Or you. I'd spare a coin or two for a city cop down in his luck. If I had, say, 4 myself. He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy. Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs. A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees. It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out. Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's...
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching. Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one's ended, you can get onto the next one.
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Time to arrest him.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, they usually get shipped to Grad and the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy. Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road. This rockin' beauty. Sure is, like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery? Neat. For carrying large quantities of cargo a long distance. These found tracksuits need...
There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this. The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm. Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
I'm okay, man. Just... the jams got me down. The fumes, the chemical rainbows, the tarpaulin stretched on the frames and the dull engines off.
Maybe the full-on, direct approach wasn't correct. Damn, it's tricky business looking into someone's eyes and not doing it wrong.
Don't be a stranger.
It's raining again. It was clear just an hour ago. Sure, I'm done with it. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache. Excuse me?
She's uncomfortable. Maybe you should drop this line of questioning. She shifts in her seat awkwardly. The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Oh, that's the tear machine.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back.
What is what? It's a raincoat. If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles.
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma.
The tear machine stands in the... A colourful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles there, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love, alcohol.
Sure. If you want something, I can. But I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
Don't ask, don't look, don't do anything here. Just go away. Get back to work.
No, Frit only sells legal drugs, like the law. The pale aged vodka is special, I guess. It's stored in pale for a couple of years, which makes it super expensive and super strong. You know.
Don't worry your pretty little head about it. Let's concentrate on what's important here.
I mean, I already said it'd hurt you.
Substances give powerful bonuses to your main stats at the cost of damage to your health or morale. Cigarettes raise your intellect while damaging your health. Use medication, like Nosafed and Magnesium, to counteract the negative effects of substances. Note:
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
What's that magazine she's reading?
You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's got, like, famous people in it.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you.
It's where they rate different outfits famous people wear. It's kind of funny. They're kind of mean. It's about who's the most stylish. No. I don't.
We are not the fashion police. We're the real police.
I don't know. Frit? I think they think that the extra T makes it funkier. It doesn't. Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but... Reality? You mean, what reality? Economic reality? I don't know. What about it? Our government? Or do you mean something else? Cool. I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but not really. No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know, okay?
Okay. Uh-huh.
Hello again, sweetie. Oh, sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager about your...
If she could, this woman would feed and clothe you and every other. You've got guns of steel and a chiseled jaw somewhere under the bloated alcohol layer. Maybe she'd like to sponsor you. Your deportment remains dignified as you shed a single manly tear.
Sweetie, I only have a few cents on me, but I could give you this to pawn. Just to tide you over.
Wonderful. He has a pin.
The pin is round and slightly tarnished. 3 sailboats in bas-relief with the sun hovering over the water behind them. A chipped green banner at the bottom reads, San Baptiste, Summer 31. dinghy races.
It's easy. You bring a valuable item to cross the plaza and follow the road along the coast. Down by the water, there'll be a shack.
Items that can be pawned at Bird's Nest Roy's appear in your inventory under the Items tab. You can pawn these items.
You're quite welcome, dear. I hope you're able to pawn that old trinket. Of course, dear. I just wish I...
Can I help you? What thing? What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business. No, you don't. Fucker, lay off the swear words. They don't make you cool. This isn't kindergarten. Besides, the RCM doesn't do search warrants. I know the law. You'll just have to wait for...
You do realize you can just go into the kitchen at 1300 hours. No need for superstar charm or Sambo-style antics here. Sambo is an acronym for Samaran boxing, graceful martial arts stuff. Sambo style implies stealth, cleverness, and cool. Just letting you know.
Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the... They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place...
He hates the union, but grudgingly recognizes its power over him. So he's directing his frustration at you instead. Retaliate.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info. We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today, then they'll be here tomorrow.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Another thing. Great. Yes? Absolutely.
You wait and see, cafeteria manager. Absolutely in the question. First we find a sad banger. Then we sing this place to shit.
Yes. Have you got it? Like what? I was rarely enjoying...
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that. There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is in. The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your duct. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
Are you okay, officer?
The weight is reassuring, like a crenel on solid fortification. Pat, pat, pat.
You're facing tough odds here. It's aggravated further by alcohol withdrawal. I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You never get used to the smell. Every Monday is cadaver day. Throw up. Then drive to the station. Maybe throw up on the way there if you didn't bag the thing tight enough. I think I've lost my sense of smell. Not being hungover helps too. No. This is a two-man assignment because it needs 2 officers to complete. I need your help. You need to get your shit together. No, it's not, officer. We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now.
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over, go to your thought cabinet.
Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
We have a right to work! Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds rights of people, rights of workers to have. Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here. We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is. Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure they've done plenty of criminal shit. They have...
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now. If you can't get in...
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then, we charge. Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. I'm trying to meet their fat boss. I know nothing about a murder.
The mention of a killing sends a barely noticeable shiver of tenseness through him. Interesting.
Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They'd do anything to stay alive. Right to work! It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. We should bring backup, open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers.
Why not? I see numerous reasons not to pick a side in this local matter.
Pity. Let us work! Honest men and women, with rights, to work. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your lead?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market.
US cab now? Good one, officer. Don't worry. We here. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife? Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. I don't believe you. Post Laventurier said the same thing. They tried to get me to be their postman. So fun, so easy. It wasn't. I'm doing much better here at the harbor. Being an honest union man with a lot of free time on his... My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself. I walk right past Measurehead and go. Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him, then press the button to unlock the door, then go past him again, and you enter the harbor through the office. Está.
The man whispers a jaunty tune, a coastal breeze.
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
The coin narrowly slips by your outstretched fingers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to throw it like that. It's a thing we harbor folk do. Was not meant as provocation or ridicule.
The boyadero stares at you with respect, then gestures towards the trickles of blood adorning your clothes.
Right, always glad to help out the RCM. We're on the same branch, you and I. Humans, I mean, not slithering scabs. You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and...
body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Don't say anything. Size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Am Sandwich. You are not in danger, because you are not a threat to me. What is this androgynous display of sexual maturity?
You hear your heart pumping, fast and irregular.
Stop it! You are embarrassing yourself in front of this. This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct, but
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
you have succumbed to Al-Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick. No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here.
Show him the hand still got it.
Begging for help. Attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far the Occidental up? You gave the world eugenics, electricité, and power. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit, you will be superseded. Isn't that...
It is, baby.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
That is right. You should leave the stage of history with dignity. Bring your troops to the Simonine Islands and to Boogie. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al-Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the oaths to almost...
This is your chance. He's talking. No, don't rip into anyone. You're sensitive. Remember? Communicate. Go ahead. Don't be shy. Just ask for race secrets. That's understandable. Jean-Luc Measurehead is a sage and an intellectual giant of race theory. Who are you, handmaiden of Al-Ghul? Volumetric ship compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the ship's singularity lasts.
Your race descends.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance.
A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the books on the counters. She covers her face, smiling. But she's cold.
Kind of you to offer, sir.
What could you do to help her anyway?
Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals. And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. What's that mean? And everything's better now, sir? Why is that? Oh, okay. I shouldn't have said that thing about Dick Mullen. Head, yes.
No, it's your soul. your blue, no, your resilience.
I'm not sure I understand. If you say so, sir. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for your... Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
What do you mean, sir?
She knows where this is going. She looks around anxiously. Her hands The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. A facade of true professionalism. He is far more intrigued by the situation than his poise reveals. She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
She actually is impressed. This is more like a defensive reflex. She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't. It was okay, sir.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Because you usually aren't. I'm sorry, sir. I hope things get better soon.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar, somehow. Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Yes, I stand in this spot all the time. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, apologising to everyone. I don't really understand what you've done wrong. Of course, you've stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you. Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore.
Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
I'm not surprised children have seen you running around with party eyes on, he thinks. Not at all.
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning too. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy. Don't leave us hanging like that, man. Open yourself to the experiences of the world. Expand your consciousness with amphetamines.
I didn't know I had to do that. I'm glad I could help you, sir. It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum. I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though. No, I don't know.
You can take this. Blossom like a pain flower. The girl is at a loss for words. She shifts and sways on her feet, looking confused and uncomfortable.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how to help you. Sir, sorry, sir. I'm still little.
It's time to leave it be. You're about to make a child cry. Are you proud of yourself?
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly. Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine. These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that. Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting. That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life. I guess, yes. People in books are always very interesting. Maybe some about other books? I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. School? Well, mine is a big yellow building on Boogie.
The gale wind blows in from the coast, a wind of needles. It wraps itself around a building of brick and mortar. Remorse, the parquet of assembly halls, the rows of stall bars are growing cold. The corridors stand empty. You haven't heard a word of what she's been saying these past few months.
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed. Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of...
Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go... I wouldn't really say it like that, but I guess so.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here.
Yes. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games are there, sir.
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were asking about Dick Mullen. No such thing.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir? Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. I don't really know what's there. Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead. Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame. I don't know about that, but I imagine life is great when you're famous. Okay, sir.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name. Be welcome, and please take...
A golden pendant hangs around the woman's neck, in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber.
Sir, don't be ridiculous. I certainly will not give you money. One has to earn one's success. even if one is a police officer. Handouts are nothing but manipulation. All they do is make...
Son, you got destroyed there. What an idiot you are.
Oh yes, helps to have an anchor in these times. I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
She has fine-tuned her voice to find the most welcoming approach for attracting new customers. It doesn't work.
Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her.
Doesn't feel like it's thriving. Feels ghostly.
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a prop? Wonderful! Did you talk to her? Great! On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled...
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. As a young girl should be, with the proper attitude, she'll have a bright financial future. God, I've told her not to do that. It's such a
Part of hers too, clearly.
She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
It sounds like both the husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette.
Oh, well, my mother was horrible, of course. Absolutely perverse energies around that person.
My husband is completely different, of course.
Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon will... He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner. Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in... Exactly. She's been too busy helping me here. So I assure you, I of all people understand...
The woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
Then why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel everything is on the shelves? Take a look.
She smiles and nods. Wow, you work hard. Oh, yes, you hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide. Oh, yeah, like a horse, a work. Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride. That's just what it's like, life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco-Negros. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a money printer. You didn't log that in as a donation either. You don't log any of that shit in. You're a straight rider. Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, right? Are you rich? Get out of here. You're a pauper. You work harder than anyone. Almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that? Because of the taxes. G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much. Every time you wipe your ass. They got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, alimony. One tax that doesn't 98% of all your money. Here you go, hustler. Fight the righteous fight. Free the people. Keep it real. Keep it street. Keep foaming at the mouth.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy.
You just can't win.
Math. It's really difficult. Like, really. Oh, I found something while you were away. I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does. Yes, just like the one Dick Mullen wears all the time. Right, I have to get back to my home.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games, an endless variety of source books, lore books, and there's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Catawak. There's a box that says, Wirral, 3rd edition mega setting supplements module. Nonsense for anemic Beano-clads. You see a set of tattered curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the pet...
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for...
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir. No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk.
Lies. Rip them. There is something mysterious about the curtains. You see a tattered set of curtains and a polyhedron-shaped cage-like trinket. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look?
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more you see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash.
I warned you. You're unleashing force.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds. What if you just break it down? You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you? What is this place? No, it's a gym. Though it looks like no one. I doubt the electricity still works.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Sounds good.
A barbell lies on. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Why does it feel so familiar? No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, a memory from another life. This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a
radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside. We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine, it's empty like a beehive without its brood.
This is where the memory should go.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker. The mesh spreading over the stone like blood. A diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being. The symbols seem very esoteric. Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7. Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station looks like a surveillance program. Someone very important, the leader of a massive on-air game built by these people. Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. All of this is gone, left unrealized.
My God, it's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing, it's just lines on marble, an echo from times long gone. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in... Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting, translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin. Who are all those creatures? One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says the Haldor, the Tworg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Political commentary. That one has a great beard too. Just look at those details. So much effort.
And for what? All gone. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There you see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal, albeit dark and cold. This vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine. A much-needed respite from our... A pinned postcard reads, the heat death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe. This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid. The grand scheme. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final day.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, see the prod schedule filament for detail. The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: call in, tune out, Wirral untethered, and heat death of the universe. Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman. This old fireplace is a diagram for summoning.
Okay, what do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? Yes, that is the question. It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games, only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interisolary game before. We just don't have the technology. Through call-in stations, none of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremony.
His fascination has swept aside other concerns for the moment. He's a little hooked.
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in. No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but... It's too late for that, I'm afraid. Okay, let's keep moving.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in it. This ice bear is a hyper-carnivore. Be careful. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. I know. What an unfortunate market. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of...
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active. Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Suliswaf.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here. That's a plausible hypothesis. Some local miscreant, probably. There are tons of them running around in Martinez, ready to stir up trouble. We usually dispatch our junior officers to deal with them. I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the Ice Bear Free.
The bear's eyes are still. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall.
Seems like an old bunker from the Revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look? Sure. Okay, here's some more rifles. An old Belmagrave rifle. That's rare to find in such good order. Seems to not...
This should cheer you up.
It's yours, officer. You found this place. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting...
He likes this find. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but if you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in.
Equip the pry bar by going...
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like it's all gone now. You'll never... What better to assuage the creeping sense of failure than some frozen fat and sugar? The ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You see the pry bar's metal handle.
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it, but this ice cream maker is... I have no idea, officer. This ice cream maker isn't important enough.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will... Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. A thick layer of coal dust covers. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter.
What are you doing? Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
A lush layer of coal now covers your... You feel the spirit of Ramut Karzai, ancient hero of Grad, pulsing through you. All that's left is to cover your face in war paint. 3 dangerous stripes appear onto your cheeks.
What are you doing? Please wipe your face clean, officer.
These 3 stripes give you strength in this dangerous realm. It would be foolish to remove them.
And this protects you. Okay, sure. Go ahead.
The bear's eyes are dead and empty. Ice inside the fridge. A few bricks have fallen. An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. An off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore, so I can't help you.
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead. All you hear is static, but no one answers the call. Silence. No one answers the doorbell. This button looks new, but someone...
This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
An iron safety curtain curves. What an odd thing to do. Nothing. Still nothing. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy.
There must be another way to wake up whoever is in there. Maybe we should ask the lady.
You broke down the back door, the wards, the door. It's all gone now. Dark psychic energy leeching onto my... I suppose it's all over now. I guess there's no... Just a door? This place is cursed, Detective. They don't call it the doomed commercial. I hope you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything. Now that you've broken the door, the curse is coming to get... Of course you didn't. You're nothing but a policeman. All right. You know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. We are set on the path. But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity? You did? Then it has to be true. I've suspected that this woman-shaped energy must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you see that she lives inside the chimney? Yes, I've heard that. It's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains up some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building.
If you're really interested in cracking this mystery, then we should go back to the furnace. Maybe you could yell into it or something.
Despite his cool, the lieutenant's interested in solving this mystery.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits? Yes, I've contacted numerous... The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building. Even though now I fear it's not enough. Oh, this? No, it's a special Himian amulet. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. Yes, the Simonees are very crafty and their wards are extremely powerful. Lesser wards simply won't do here. The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin.
Didn't that curtain just move?
It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacodemons feeding off bad business. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived.
Sounds familiar.
Truly so? Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you. You shouldn't stay in the store.
The woman looks aloof.
It's dark. And the flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand. Yes, you might even call it a feature of the universe that you need to hold tools to use them. I'm sorry, the fundamental laws of the universe don't seem to agree with you, Detective. So come on.
Some areas are in...
thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chip.
Hello?
You've awakened the entity.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain.
You hear a low rumble.
After you, officer.
A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts. You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading to your left arm, your jaw. Yeah, screaming isn't happening on account of extreme shortness of breath. All you feel is pain and weakness. You have to surrender now. We all do. It gets so... Cop suffers final heart attack. A detective lieutenant of the RCM passed away yesterday. His death, though abrupt, did not come as a surprise to those who knew him. He was the heaviest drinker I'd ever...
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may...
A thick layer of coal dust covers something.
Hello?
You've awakened the...
Hello?
You hear...
After you, officer.
Tiles on the cube, like a smooth draw. The filament slides into place. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? Oh no. It was already glowing and now it's also making a sound. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Yes, I am alive. I am 7.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
I work as a repeater at the East Indian repeater. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cube.
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled with audio equipment. Doesn't it get lonely, sitting there all by herself?
Lonely? Why would it get lonely? I get to talk to people.
That's why she does this.
Now please tell me the reason for your call, Fortress Accident. Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using. One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolution. Any other questions? The filament you have inserted into the reader. Yes. Is that the production schedule? Good. Please.
You should ask her for a hint.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want...
Now, can you please repeat the password? No. Still no. Received.
That sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do. Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up.
Fortress Accident. Is there any... Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Casting, the filament slides out.
Yes? Excuse me? You have a distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front of you, we would show... I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 57th, they say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence. It's erratic, yet thorough. Prioritizes containers. I'm sure you don't. It's just a stupid...
Passing along frivolous interdepartmental stereotypes is not usually his oeuvre. He regrets bringing it up.
Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. Ah, if you insist. What do you want to know? What do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about. What? Think?
The lieutenant produces his small blue note. That's where his conversation... You're super lucid, yet psychedelic. You don't need office supplies to connect to your nervous system. You're special.
No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them.
Something the matter?
This guy's got authority off the charts. With just the flick of his eyebrow, he's able to make you nothing. You better hope he doesn't abuse his authority. There's a lot of it. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control.
That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity, and a geographic division. You're barking at the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Zeolite. I've never met either one.
He's glad to have shut down your question.
That's correct.
That makes him a Beano-clad, completely uncopped material, if you say so yourself.
Are they? They are mostly...
You could use a good, normal pair yourself.
Good. Let's change the subject.
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. So what kind of die are you looking?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk. Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need.
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bone role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Very good. My rate is 10 real per set. Take a look around and see if there...
This person means you, or no one else, absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly.